Hey everyone, Rebecca here with Minimalism Made Simple, and today I want to talk about something that has had a huge impact on my life, and that's how I broke my phone addiction. If you're anything like I was, your phone is probably the first thing you reach for in the morning and the last thing you check before bed. It felt like I was glued to my screen, mindlessly scrolling through social media, checking emails, and just constantly reaching for it out of habit. But I realized that my phone was taking more from me than it was giving. So let me share with you the 5 steps that I took to finally break my phone addiction. And trust me, it's been a real game changer. So, first off, I had to face the reality that my phone was controlling my time. Think about it. We spend hours each day on our phones, but how much of that time is actually meaningful? I did a little experiment and tracked my screen times, and the results were shocking. I was spending over 4 hours a day on my phone. That's more than 28 hours a week, essentially an entire day gone. And for what? Random scrolling, checking notifications, and refreshing feeds. I realized that if I wanted to reclaim my time, I had to take back control of how I used my phone. The second step was setting some serious boundaries. At first, I tried just telling myself I'll cut back, but let's be honest, that didn't work. So I got intentional about it. I set time limits on certain apps like Instagram and stuck to them. I also decided to create a no phone zone in my life, like at the dinner table or during my morning routine. Those little breaks helped me to disconnect and be more present. I started enjoying my meals without distractions and found that my mornings became much more peaceful without reaching for my phone the moment that I woke up. The third thing that I did is that I swapped my phone time with more fulfilling and meaningful activities. Breaking an addiction doesn't just mean cutting something out, it's about also replacing it with something better. I realized that I was using my phone as a way to fill empty space, whether that was boredom or avoiding a task that I didn't want to do. So I started filling that space with things that actually brought me joy and helped me to grow. I picked up on reading more, something that I was not paying so much attention to. And I also started journaling in the mornings and took short walks during breaks instead of mindlessly scrolling through apps. By replacing screen time with more intentional activities, I began to feel more fulfilled and productive. The fourth step was probably the hardest for me, and that was cutting down on notifications. So I used to get bombarded with them: texts, emails, social media updates, you name it. And my phone was buzzing constantly, and I felt like I had to check every single notification the second it popped up. But here's the thing, most of those notifications weren't urgent at all. They were just distractions pulling me away from the moment. So I turned off non essential notifications, and honestly, it felt like a weight had been lifted. Now I'm not a slave to every buzz and ding, and I check my phone on my own terms. Lastly, I had to change my mindset about boredom. So, one of the reasons that I was attached to my phone was that it filled every little moment of downtime. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. So, if you're waiting in line, you scroll through Instagram. Got 5 minutes before a meeting, I was checking emails. I realized that I was a little afraid of being bored, but what I've learned is that boredom isn't really something to run from. It's actually where creativity and self-reflection happen. By allowing myself to sit with the quiet moments, I've had some of my best ideas and breakthroughs. Now, instead of reaching for the phone, the moment I feel a bit restless, I take a deep breath, let my mind wander, and see where it takes me. So, those are the 5 steps I took to break my phone addiction. And it wasn't easy, and I still catch myself reaching for my phone out of habit sometimes. But by taking small intentional actions, I've been able to create a healthier relationship with my phone. I feel more present, more productive, and less anxious overall. So, if you're struggling with phone addiction, I encourage you to give these steps a try. And trust me that the freedom and mental clarity you gain is worth it. After all, life happens off screen, and I didn't want to miss it anymore. So thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Don't forget to subscribe below. And I do have a free 7-day decluttering email challenge. And if you would love to join that, I will leave a link for that below as well. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.